believe in the sun, even when it doesn't shine. I believe in the soul, even when there is no mind. I believe in strength, even when you're tired and weak. I believe in God, even when He doesn't speak. So I'm sending you this message, though we're far apart. I know that you'll hear it if you listen with your heart. Until you're safe with me, my love will shine a light that I pray you will see in the darkest of nights. I'll be right there with you every second you're away. Darling, don't give up, just hold on for one more day, 'cause I'll be searching endlessly until you're safe with me. Until you're safe with me. Until you're safe with me, my love will shine a light that I pray you will see in the darkest of nights. I'll be right there with you every second you're away. Darling, don't give up, just hold on for one more day, 'cause I'll be searching endlessly until you're safe with me. Until you're safe with me. I believe in God, even when He doesn't speak.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us tonight to honor Elena Hembree. It has been 244 days since Elena passed away. I know there's a lot of groups out there discussing what happened, but this is going to be about Elena's life. It's going to be to honor her. Um, Forgive me if I can't chat because I could not get my chat to connect. I do want to thank Duchess for all of her help. What about that intro, you all? That was my girl that made that. Um, but I'm on the road with my husband right now, so Dutchy had to get everything set up for me, and I'm on my phone. So please bear with me. Duchess is going to help me out here because it takes a village, as she would say. Also, Carol is going to be coming up and talking about Elena. I also want to let you all know that if you have something you want to share about this kid that is positive, then feel free to do so. Later on, we will be dropping a link in case anybody wants to come up and say something about Elena. Maybe it's how this event has changed you as a person or made you more aware. Regardless of what it is, as long as it's positive, we want to hear it. Um, Dutch, do you want to say anything?
Thank you for asking me to be here. I'm always happy to help in any way that I can. It's a privilege. I appreciate your friendship and for continuing to honor Elena Hembree. Her life is so important, guys. It's just so hard to believe that Elena is no longer here on this earth. Her life was taken way too soon, and it should have never happened. And I also want to say that in the description box of this video, if you guys go over, you can actually click on, underneath where it says live stream honoring Elena Hembree. And if you look down, you will see the credit for the introduction song, and there is a very important petition that I want you guys to make sure that you go over and sign. The mods will be dropping that in chat. And this petition is so important. And if you have a platform, or if you have a YouTube community wall, if you have a Facebook, please share out this very important petition. This is to enforce harsher punishments for child abusers in Kentucky, and for justice for Elena. This was started. Hang on, let me move my giant pit bull who's in the way. Come over here, big baby. This petition was started back in September, on September 17th of 2023, and so far there are 22,023 signatures, and the next goal is 25,000, and we really need to get this petition signed and started, so we can get it over to the Kentucky State Senator Jimmy Higdon, as well as Mitch McConnell, the Kentucky State Senate, Andy Beshear. So if you could please take the time to read this very important petition, it really matters, and we need your signatures. And if you wouldn't mind, please sharing this out, and if you can tag Crystal, it would mean so much.
Yes, it would. Right now, I ain't for sure if everybody understands, but a Class D felony is 5 to 10 years, you all. They don't serve half of that for child abuse. We need harsher punishments on child abuse because of what has happened to this kid. Um, Carol is trying to get her device connected. Just, um, you may understand more of what she might need to do. She's saying it's saying her mic is blocked.
Let me check into it. Hang on.
Bear with us, you all. Uh, for most of you that some of you may not know, Elena Hembree passed away on July the 30th, due to some heinous acts that was taken against her. Due to those injuries, she passed away. Like I said, I don't want to focus on what happened to her tonight, but more of what her life was about. Um, and one of the people that can really tell us about her life is Carol. Carol helped take care of Elena. Um, and Carol really, really loved Elena. Uh, you can hear it in her voice when she talks about Elena. Every conversation that I've had with Carol about Elena, I can hear in her voice how much she loved this kid. Um, when this first happened, yes, I, like a lot of people, was like, who loved this child? Who was taking care of her? Well, I know Carol did. Um, Elena's case has learned me a lot. Not to jump to conclusions, not to listen to everything that we hear. Um, it's taught me a lot about covering a case with dignity. And, we've all got those cases that really tugs at our heartstrings, that keeps us up at night sometimes. And Elena's case has been that for me. I'm very happy to say that on February the 20th, we got Elena Hembree Day passed in Middlesboro, Kentucky. Um, that event was absolutely beautiful. In July, there will be another event to honor Elena. And in that event, we're going to have several people come out. Some will be there, like, to hand out information about rehab, uh, just different sources that you can go through. Because in order to stop this, we have to get at the root of it. We have to be able to get it to where people can get help and this stuff don't happen. Um, But look at her. Is she not beautiful? Put put some yellow hearts in the chat for Elena.
Crystal, where
Yeah,
can I send this information over to Carolyn to try to get her microphone unblocked?
just send it to me and I'll send it to her.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you on private Discord. On its way. Hopefully this will help.
Okay, I'm gonna mute out and I'll do this.
Okay. Elena's case is really very heartbreaking, y'all. And we need to find out exactly what happened. And I know law enforcement is conducting the investigation. This tragedy should never happen. It should have never, ever happened. And she's not the only child that this has ever happened to. And that is the part that's really scary, is how many other children are going through the same thing as this. You know, back in February, that would have been her second birthday. And I just really have a lot of respect for Crystal for going out at Christmas and, you know, marching with her banner in the parade. Michelle Macklin was there, and I appreciate both of y'all being there. It's just so very important. So very important. And I appreciate y'all all being here because we need to honor this child's life for what's been done. If you're watching over on Facebook, don't forget to like and share this out. And if you're watching here on YouTube, don't forget to like and share this out. It helps the algorithm. It helps for Elena's face to be seen so that people don't forget about this tragedy. And that's why it's very important for you to go over and sign this petition, because we need to enforce harsher punishments.
There is a lot of new people that are in chat, and while we're waiting on Carol, I do realize that Elena, you don't hear her name on YouTube very much. There's been a very few creators that have covered this story. Um, she was 17-month old, and she. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this, Dutchie. Can you pull up the article? That way people know what happened. I don't want to put out misinformation.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Let me go over here and search it out. Which one do you want me to pull? Let's see what I've got here.
Some things have been printed in the press that wasn't since then. It's came out and said there was no male DNA. I will put that out there right now, or a lack of. There's been several things said about why that is. But on July the 29th, Elena was rushed to Middlesboro ARH. Is that the one you got, Dutch?
Let me see what I've got here. I'm going to share my screen. We'll take a look at it. Hang on a second.
Because I really want people to understand why we're here.
I have this one right here. The police release Middlesboro toddler's cause of death. Do you want me to play this video, read this article, or do you want me to pull up a different one?
Just read that one.
Okay, this one is from March 20th of 2024, and there's actually a video here. We can probably take a look at that.
That the child had suffered signs of abuse. Maybe.
Let's see. Let me take it back to the beginning. All right, here we go.
And if you missed it earlier on the 7, a huge update in the investigation into the death of a baby from Middlesboro, Kentucky. Police revealing that DNA testing results that the autopsy report for the 17-month-old, Elena Hembree, have now been finalized. This investigation started last July when Elena was taken to East Tennessee Children's Hospital. State's attorney, Lisa Fugate, claimed that the child had suffered signs of abuse. Baby Elena died 2 days after coming to the hospital. The finalized report now showing that little Elena's cause of death was non-accidental blunt force trauma. As for the DNA results, the Kentucky State Police Forensic Lab tells us no male DNA was found. We're told these two pieces of the puzzle are crucial as this case moves forward toward trial. Little Elena's mother, Erica Lawson, was indicted by a grand jury on murder and other charges back in August. We will keep you posted on where this is all headed.
Yeah. That was on March the 20th. That's the most recent.
Let me see if Carol saw that message yet.
Okay. Yeah, there's baby Elena. And this one was back in September. And at that time, that's when Middlesboro police were waiting at that time on 6 different DNA samples that were found on Elena. And it was alleged at that time that 4 men were detained, but 2 of the men were still at large. So, Crystal can comment more on that.
Well, the only person that has been arrested with charges related to Elena is Elena's mom, Erica Lawson. People's put speculation out there. I really don't want to be part of that.
Right.
I want law enforcement to be able to do their job. That's their job.
Absolutely.
But okay. But right now, as of right now, the only person arrested with charges for what happened to her is Erica Lawson. We've got several communities on Facebook that cover Elena. There is Justice for Elena. Carolyn has been awesome keeping Elena's name out there. And Elena's Helping Hands. They do a lot of things like to help needy kids and stuff like that. Haley is the one that got the petition started. So a lot of stuff Elena's changed a lot of things, but we really need this petition to go through to actually make changes in law. We need harsher punishments against child abusers. This child lost its life, and I mean it was a senseless act. And for one person to be charged, it's injustice. Let me see here. Okay. Just a second, Dutch.
Okay. Let me get back over here and share my screen. I'll pull this one up. This was back on February 26th. Community remembers baby Elena on her 2nd birthday, and there is the Friday night event with Crystal and a bunch of people that were out there where they released the balloons for wishes for Elena. And this was at Lincoln Park in Middlesboro. And it states that Crystal and all the other people that came to this event, that put on this event, are advocating for justice in Elena's case, as well as for changes to Kentucky's child abuse laws while keeping her memory alive. And we really, really appreciate that. Mark says, as a dad of 14-year-old twin girls, this is heartbreaking. Such a beautiful baby. I know, Mark. I mean, this is scary. That this child may have been SA'd and, they've only got the mother being indicted for this. And I really hope they're able to get clarification to exactly what happened to Elena. Because regardless if she died from blunt force trauma, I know the details from people that worked at the hospital that took care of this child, and I know what happened. And people need to be held accountable for that.
Yes, that's what makes this so hard, is that we have saw things that says different than what the article said, but it's one of those things I just don't understand. For the life of me, I don't. Give me just a second, Dutch. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump down. I'm going to see if she wants to call me and do it on speaker that way. But I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay. Sounds
So
good.
sorry.
Sounds good. No problem. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that so very much. Jessica, it's so good to see you here. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're having a happy Easter. I hope everyone's had a nice Easter. It was so beautiful here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina today. I appreciate all of y'all putting the yellow hearts in chat. Thank y'all so much. It really means a lot. Okay, it's no problem. It's no problem. I do want y'all to hear from Carol, so hopefully when Crystal comes back, maybe Carol can be able to jump up. So I've been blocked before on my microphone, and for some reason I can't get it to do right. So we'll work around it. We'll work around it. And we appreciate y'all being here. If you're interested in true crime cases and following missing cases, Crystal has her own Facebook page called Coldcasecrystal. The mods can drop the Facebook link for her Facebook group if you're interested in that. And we also have the Be Elena's Voice Facebook group if you're interested in following along for honoring Elena. Please go over and join up on Be Elena's Voice. There are some questions that you do have to answer. And it's just to make sure that you're not a bot, and we'd love to have you over there as well. And Carol also has a Facebook group called Justice for Elena. So if you're interested in this case and you want to join up on those groups, it's Be Elena's Voice. That's Crystal's group. And Carol's group is Justice for Elena. I think her group has about 6,000 plus members in it, Carol's group. So we'd love to see you over there, and we'd love to have you to share that petition and sign the petition, because if you have children, you would want justice in this case as well. And we appreciate all that Crystal and the group Be Elena's Voice has done, because that event that this article here is talking about, that was actually put on by Crystal and our group over there, and we really appreciate her doing all of that and honoring Elena. So thank you, sis, for all that you do for these missing children and missing adults on these cold cases, and people who are out there doing these heinous things to children. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It just hurts me. Thank you, Flies, for dropping that petition. Y'all make sure you go over there and sign that.
Now, If you don't care, Dutch, drop the link in the chat in case somebody from the
Okay.
Facebook group or somebody wants to come up, maybe read one of their poems. There's a lot of people in the Facebook group that had wrote a poem about Elena, and because I've tried to get a hold of Carol, but
Okay.
she may still join us, but I think she's just trying to get connected.
Okay. If when we drop the link, if you do want to come up on panel, the only thing that we ask is just to show your face before you come up, and then we'll give you time to turn your camera off before we put you on the screen. If you don't want to show your face, but that way we can make sure that, you know, everything's all good in the hood, you know. Let me get over here and get this link. I think I've got it over here on my phone, and we'll drop it from my phone.
I'd also like to, while I'm taking the time, because this is to honor Elena, um, to thank Pam. She's in chat. She is one of the moderators and admin on the group, and she stays on top of it. She has been absolutely wonderful. Um, she's been fighting for justice for Elena from the very beginning. She's been faithful.
Yes, and we appreciate all the hard work, Pam. It really means a lot, because especially with Crystal and I, we spread ourselves thin. We're everywhere. It's hard to be in all the places. So we really appreciate all that you do over there for the Facebook group. It really means a lot. So and we appreciate all the moderators that are here also. Is Nightbot being a pain, Allie?
Nightbot has been a jerk for the last 3 lives that I've had him on there.
Wait a minute, he wouldn't get in the wood chipper either?
Nope.
Oh my
I think
gracious.
that might be the problem. I may have stuck him in the wood chipper too much.
Yeah, I think that's why he's broken now, because he's been in the wood chipper too many times. Mark says Duchess StreamYards has had issues this evening. Not sure why. Yeah,
That
it
may
seems
be
like.
what's going on with her.
Yeah, I see that it says can't post comments to some destinations at the very bottom of the StreamYard on your thing, Crystal. I thought that was interesting. So
Yeah, Dutch is signed into my StreamYard, you all. I know this is very confusing, but
yes, I'm like running the show for Crystal while she's not able to get on for her laptop. So it's what we do. That's what we do. We work as a team. We have to rely on each other. It takes a village sometimes to do all the things. Wait a minute, he's in the corner having a tantrum. That does not shock me. He's rebelling, StreamYard's rebelling. I mean, the world is on fire tonight. It's true. Yes, welcome everyone to the live stream. Please leave your precious DNA on the like button. Like it, dislike it. It helps the algorithm, and we appreciate you being here. Is there anything else that you want to share while we're waiting on Carol? Is there another article or anything that you want me to pull up? Is there a particular video that you have in mind that you'd like for me to share?
there is that video with the mayor at the beginning.
Okay, let me pull that up. Is it under the article that I pulled up with you in it?
No, it would be on YouTube.
Okay, it would be on YouTube. Do you know, is it on your page? Or do you know what news station it's on? Is it the one where the father speaks at the memorial?
Yes. And I do want to say that I hear that he has got saved since he's been in jail, and I mean I commend that. People trying to make changes for their life, I can't say nothing against that.
Right.
Pam says, Elena's case has pulled on my heartstrings from the moment I heard about it. I will continue to share her story until Elena gets the justice she deserves. Me too, Pam. Me too. Um, During the Christmas thing, Michelle Macklin, one of our awesome mods, came and marched with us in the Christmas parade. Um, and I'm sure that she would tell you, being there, it was almost epic because you could hear even kids say, "That's Elena." So people's remembering Elena. Um, and the event in February, it it was awesome, you all. It really, really, I ain't got words. To be there was so overwhelming because you're in the city where this happened, and it starts out with all these cop cars and fire departments just letting off their sirens. So I can't explain how awesome that felt to know that
Yeah.
she has her own day.
I know that is such an incredible thing, and I'm so glad that I was there to watch you live, having this and then being able to announce all of this. That was incredible, and I appreciate all that you do. It means so much to this community. I'm standing up for what's right. So let's play this video. Let's see what we got here.
New video tonight includes a memorial to a 17-month-old child. Investigators in Middlesboro, Kentucky say she died after suffering severe abuse. Her mother is in custody facing a charge tied to the death of little Elena. Neighbors are calling for justice, and for the first time, the little girl's father is speaking publicly. 10 News reporter Maria Guzman joins us with his reaction. Maria?
John, this is a case that has shaken an entire community, and we see that from tonight's memorial. And in just less than 24 hours since this case became public, loved ones gathered outside of City Hall to remember baby Elena. On Friday, Elena was taken to the hospital. She had been sexually assaulted and severely injured. And 2 days later, she died from her injuries at the hospital. Tonight, we hear from the girl's dad for the first time.
She was my world. She was my first, my only. I hate have to do this, but this type of thing can happen. As you can see, it's touched everybody. We're the only voice she's got as a community, not just as me, just as a community.
Now, the child's mother is 21-year-old Erica Lawson. Now, she remains in custody tonight. Right now, she faces 4 different charges from manslaughter to abuse, and the city's mayor speaking tonight to the family.
I cannot imagine the pain you're going through. You're going through something no father's ever. Man, you're going through something no father should ever have to go through. No parent should ever have to go through a death of a child.
Officials say the girl's uncle did report signs of abuse weeks ago, but police say they couldn't find the child. Now, the chief of police did admit there was prior abuse reported to them. As for where this case will go next, right now the mother is in custody, but police say more people could be charged. Now with the evidence they have, police say a male suspect was also involved. Now, another community event is set for Saturday night outside of City Hall at 9. John.
We'll continue to follow this. Thank you, Maria.
Wow.
Instagram.
In July, it'll be a year, you all. All I ask is just keep her name out there. Um, like I said, yes, her mom has been arrested, but nobody else has. And if just look into this case, look into it. If it doesn't pull at your heartstrings, nothing will. Give me just a second here. ask Haley if she wants to come up and tell a little bit about the petition.
Okay. That would be great.
Well, I've sent her a link, so we'll give her a few more minutes.
Okay.
If you all don't care, put some hearts in the chat for Elena.
She's such a sweet baby. I can't imagine the pain and suffering that she endured. And I loved this right here. The silence is not an option.
I have also made that into a shirt, and there is no profit on it. You know how Teesprings does. There's no profit on it if anybody wants to go and order it for themselves.
That's wonderful.
I just
think
thought it'd
I'm
be nice, if people want it, if it's there. Okay. Let me see here. Can you find that question?
hang on. Let's see. Mark has a question.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Let me
it.
go back and look.
Yes, there was
Any calls to
calls to-
CPS? Okay.
from what we understand. Yes, there was calls to CPS, and they claimed that they couldn't find Elena. The mom was staying from house to house. They couldn't find her. Elena was well taken care of when she was with Carol. Carol can tell you every detail about her, which is why I was wanting her to be able to come up. But she was out of Carol's home. I think Carol said it was like 3 weeks. If I'm wrong, please correct me in chat if you're watching, Carol, when this happened. But Carol helped raise Elena.
Is she trying to come up on her laptop? Because if she is, you may have to email her the link. Do you have her email? If she's
No, I
coming up
don't.
on her phone, then you might she could come up if she's coming up on her phone. But if she has to come up on a laptop, we may have to email it to her.
Let me see here.
And I just want to give a shout out to everybody over there on Facebook. Kathy, Tiffany, Melissa, Eddie. I appreciate y'all so very much. Anyone else who's watching over there.
Okay. Carol, is that you that says I am in chat? And Haley says give her 1 minute to log in on her laptop.
Okay.
Carol, if you want to, send me your email and I'll email the link to you.
And just remember, if you come over to the Be Elena's Voice group, you must answer all the questions. So if you answered some of the questions, just make sure you go back and make sure you've answered and agreed to the rules for the Facebook group. And we appreciate you guys doing that.
Is there anyone talking about or wanting a second? I haven't heard anybody yet. That is a very good question, though, BHB2.
I think considering what they first said and what they came back out with, I would think the having a second autopsy would be very important to get a confirmation. You know?
Yes. Yep. Just.
You there?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Haley's getting her laptop plugged up. Haley is the one that got the petition started, you all. And trust me, it'd be amazing to get this law passed. It's called the
Yes.
Elenas Law. She will explain everything about it. She's really done her homework on it.
Mark says, Duchess may be aware that I was LE for 5 years before going to UPS. This was LE in New York. The laws on sentencing here need to change as well in this ridiculous bail forum. Wow, Mark, I didn't know that, but thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I just don't understand how they allow predators that hurt children back out on the street. But if you are a recidivist with multiple DUIs, they can put you in jail for, if you're, like the example with Summer Wells' father. He gets pulled over, he violates probation, he goes off to jail for 9 months. Some of these people don't even do any jail time. It's not right. Like, we can't be allowing people to hurt our children like this. How is that protecting anybody?
Well, I mean, with that case, you have the son of Ronnie Lawson who got caught with, for SA, and he does the same amount of time. That's not right.
Yeah, that's another thing. Mark, I don't know if you're familiar with Summer Wells' case, but the head of the sheriff's department in that case, his son was arrested. Did he have pictures, or was it? Well, no, it was SA.
It was SA.
Yeah, and that is the sheriff's son, and he was like protecting him, and he hardly did any time. Why? Probably because he got a favor. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's not right at all.
Yes, thank you for your service, Mark. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, Michelle. BHB2 says there are angel donors for almost any charitable concern. Seems like missing children really need some angel donors. Yeah, I agree. I just started to say, if your name is Brandon Lawson, you get
1129.
That's right. So you can stay in county lockup. That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
I can't help but think that somebody called in a favor.
But now, in this case, the defense wanted to get, because the mom, Erica Lawson, is facing the death penalty, and they wanted to get that, you know, took off the table, to get it knocked down, to get the murder charge off the table. Uh,
Yeah.
and that would bring it down to child abuse. And
See, this child lost her life. That is not good enough. And the things that happened to this child that I know that the nurses and people that took care of this child at the hospital said, you're telling me that the mom did that all by herself, but also was not at the trap house that she left her at. Explain that to me.
yeah,
Because I want to hear you explain that in court. I'll wait. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. But we have to let law enforcement do their job, and I hope that they're going to do it and get some justice.
I will say that at the last hearing that they had, the judge did not find, enough evidence to take murder charge off of the table. So they have to do, what is it called, where you got to show proof of it, a bill of particulars.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a win. Okay.
Yeah, because, with the absence of male DNA, the defense will likely file a motion to dismiss those capital charges. Well, I mean, Elena lost her life, so that's it. Y'all just gonna call it a wash? I don't like that at all. That worries me. Did you ever hear back from Carol? Is she gonna be able to
Um,
join?
it doesn't look like she's looked at her messages on Facebook. I'm imagining she's trying to get it to connect. But Haley said, um, I asked her if she wanted to come up, and she said, yes, give me a minute to log in on my laptop. Carol, if you are still in chat, if you don't care, check your Facebook messages, because we may be able to do it with you calling me, and we'll put you on speaker. That way you can read your poem, because I know you wrote a beautiful poem for Elena.
Yes, I would really like for you to share that, Carol. So if you're listening on Facebook or on the YouTube, just look at your messages.
I mean, personally, I didn't know Elena personally. So to be able to tell you who she was and what she liked, I can only tell you what Carol's told me, because she's the one that she took care of her until Erica moved out of the house with her. She liked pancakes. Um, she liked flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Carol said she liked to sneak up on you and giggle and jump on her bed in the morning. And she called her Mimi. She loved bath time. She loved looking at herself in the mirror. Would fight with you to get her hair fixed, but then would look at it afterwards, and admiring how beautiful she was. Because, I mean, we can all see how beautiful that baby was. Um, it's just, she knows her better than me. So if anybody can tell you who Elena is, it would be Carol. That's true, Mark.
I agree, Mark. If we don't take a stand, who will? You know, I have a lot of respect for law enforcement. Some of my very good friends are in law enforcement. They work for federal agencies, local agencies. My brother-in-law is the captain of the fire department. There's a lot of people that are doing all they can to work to help other people. And it really makes it sad when you meet people that are in places of power in law enforcement and things like that are involved in corruption or crimes like this. Like Ronnie Lawson's son is, you know, an RSO. It just makes you question everything. And a lot of people just look the other way. They don't think that it's important. They're just like, well, you know, just a tap on the wrist, send them on their way. It'll be okay. Now, I don't think that's going to cut it. Not in 2024. I mean, this type of crime against children is becoming increasingly worse. I mean, according to the statistics, 3.6 million cases of child abuse are reported every year in the United States. And abused and neglected children are 11 times more likely to engage in criminal behavior as an adult. You're going to have to take her in there if you leave that right there.
Okay. I hope StreamYards isn't giving her the same problem that it gave Carol.
I mean, it's very possible because Mark obviously knows that there's something going on with StreamYard too. So, what said the city has a terrible mayor who doesn't back the blue. See, that's probably not good either. Me too, Barbara. I wish they would do a proper investigation. You know, we have to put our faith in these agencies to do the right thing. You know, when Arctic Fox had a live last night talking about a case, you know, in Corpus Christi, Texas, you know, I was very pleased to see how many agencies were involved in looking for this missing young man. But then when I go to other states and we have a missing situation there, it seems like it's like pulling teeth to get law enforcement to even look at a case. Why is that?
It makes no sense, Duchess.
I know. And in every state, the laws about the missing and if they have to file a NamUs report, you know, only, what did we say, 15 states out of the United States are required to file the missing persons report with NamUs. And the state that I live in isn't one of them. So.
Well, I tell you what, Dutch, I'd close it out with prayer. But you all, please keep her name out there. One of the biggest tragedy that can happen is if these kids pass in vain. If we don't do something that honors them. Like with Elena's law, that's getting harsher punishments against child abusers. And I think it's absolutely wonderful. We need to do stuff to honor them as well as talk about their cases. Getting justice is very important, but their life mattered. Erica Lawson's next court date is June the 5th at 1:30 p.m. I'm telling you, Pam's on it.
I hope they come up with some real hard-hitting evidence by then, because it seems like they would want to investigate. I mean, how did they come up with they got all these DNA samples, but then suddenly there was none? How do you go from 6 to 0? That math doesn't math for me.
It don't me either.
Yeah, so it's important that we keep these children's names out there to remind people that this problem is not going away, and that these children's lives were taken away by heinous people, and they deserve justice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, another person that covers Elena is Remain Calm. And I appreciate her for that. She keeps her name out there. Um, and she's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But if we quit talking about them, the case will go cold. I hate to say that, but I mean, I think it's very important. But keep their name out there with actual information.
Yes.
Matches and codas, or just a DNA profile. Yeah, I do too, because the actual, see, Elena, when she was shipped, she was took to ARH in Middlesboro. They
Kentucky.
stabilized her, and she was flown to Children's Hospital in Tennessee, where she actually passed away at. I would think that would give Tennessee a right to get involved as well, because she passed away in Tennessee. But the incident happened in Kentucky.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know about the matches and codas. They just originally they said that there was 6 people, 6 samples. They had got 4 of the men and 2 were still at large, and then it changed to say that all of the DNA that was found was not male. And I was like, considering I know what the injuries were, that doesn't add up at all.
No, it don't.
So I feel like somebody's not telling the truth about something. Something is not right.
Well, and there was 4 counts that needed a response from the prosecutor, and only 1 got it. So, like Pam said, I hope she turns in all of her reports within 30 days. I mean,
Yes.
it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it's things like that that worry you.
The autopsy performed in Kentucky. Kentucky has a horse in the race. Well, it took place in Kentucky, but then, she was airlifted to Tennessee, and she died in Tennessee. And then I guess they returned the body back to Kentucky to the coroner there. Is that correct, Crystal?
Yes.
So that's probably where the autopsy was performed, I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure it was in Mount Vernon. Isn't that what it said? That it was performed at Mount Vernon in Kentucky. But the medical exam, read that first one where it talks about the medical examiner. It's the first I don't know. Because the first news report said that she had been essayed. At one point, 6 samples of DNA was got. One thing that Kentucky, another thing that needs to change is the prosecutor can only turn in 5 items of evidence to a grand jury, and the defense can only turn in 5. So that's a total of 10. Yes, people, this is the thing. Believe it or not. It shouldn't be, but Crystal Rogers' case, same thing happened in it.
Let's see.
I
I'm
don't think they
looking.
did. I don't think they did a second one. If they have, I haven't heard about it.
Let's see. On this article, this says MPD issues update on investigation. This is where the attorney filed a motion to either dismiss the indictment or strike the death penalty due to what he called the Commonwealth's refusal to provide a complete bill of particulars in the case. And he also argued that the facts of the case alleged in the indictment did not rise to the level of capital prosecution. He says the failure to render aid and cramming the word intentional in front of it does not save it. It describes wanton murder at best.
Okay. Haley just had me send her the link again.
Okay. Said that Judge Nagel issued an order for the Commonwealth to respond to the defense's motion for a bill of particulars within 30 days and allowed another 30 days for the defense to raise any issues with that response. And then it says the investigation had been awaiting two crucial pieces of evidence. The two elements were the DNA test results and the autopsy report. And that's when the Kentucky State Police Forensic Lab found a lack of male DNA in their analysis.
But now, as just like Pam put in the chat, the update from Middlesboro Police Department, the FBI is now doing additional testing and are involved in the investigation.
Okay, well, that's
so
good.
that's a plus.
That is a plus. Okay, here we go. Welcome.
Hey, Haley.
Can you hear us? Are you muted? Can you hear us, Haley?
Just a second, I'll message her and see if she can hear me. You may have to go out and come back in. StreamYards is wacky, man.
Mm-hmm. Here, we'll let her go, or maybe her device wasn't connected. Same issue.
Yep.
Try to come back, Haley. You're welcome, Marion. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Marion. This is completely odd for me. I'm not used to it's on my channel, but I'm on my phone.
Mark says you're guilty of felony murder even if you played a part in malice murder. You know,
Well,
Mark, in this case, they believe that she left Elena.
Well,
at this place, you know.
It took 2 days for her to even take Elena to the hospital.
Yeah. But she left her somewhere for 2 days at a place that was a drug house. So she could go get high.
That's believed. It's not
allegedly.
been clear whether she was there.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. It's not been clear if she was there or if she left her there. But regardless, she had to be made to take her to the hospital. So one of her charges are failure to provide care or
Yes.
get her to the hospital. And when they airlifted her to Tennessee, she didn't even go with her.
Michelle, you blame the sun? The solar flares have been crazy. And me and Michelle know all about it because every time our hip starts hurting us real bad, we run over to spaceweather.com to see how many solar flares have happened. It's a true thing. BHB said, just ask my daughter today what I could have taught her that I didn't. She said paperwork. Yeah. You know, something they don't teach kids in school, I feel like they should, is like how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah. Or write in cursive.
You know, they teach you things in school like they want you to learn calculus, math with letters in it. Like, when am I going to really use that? You know? Okay, Haley, I'm going to bring you up. Let's see if you're connected. Hello, hello. Can you hear us? I still can't hear you, Haley. Can you check your microphone? Can you go into settings and check your microphone and make sure you're not muted? Haley, are you able to hear us? Can you type in chat at all to let us know if you can hear us? Because we definitely cannot hear you. Mark says, Duchess, do you remember the Joel Steinberg case? It was in the 90s. Isn't that the attorney that was accused of like rape and murder or something like that? That was in New York, right?
Okay, I've got an idea.
I think he was in Supermax.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
Mark's saying that StreamYards did this nonsense. I appreciate you for being up here, Haley. Everything that you've done for Elena. Dutch, is there any way that you could read the petition, because she's very detailed in it?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me go pull it up.
Yes,
Yes,
Michelle.
Mark. That's him. That's the guy. I don't think he's in his 80s now, isn't he?
Haley can't hear anything at all, she says.
She can or she can't?
She can't.
Oh, she can't. Well, I'm gonna just let her know that I'm gonna kick her. Then.
Just a second. Let me let her know that first.
Okay, tell her that first. It's nothing personal.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I think that it was my my microphone for some reason.
Well,
I'm
we can hear
sorry.
you just fine. No, you're fine. I'm so glad you got it to work. Yay!
Yes. Because she's so much more detailed about this petition. Y'all put some hearts in chat. This girl has done awesome work with this petition to get Elena's law.
I'm going to pull the petition up while she's talking
Thank
about
you. I actually have the petition on hand also.
Tell us a little about it, Haley.
Okay, so whenever I learned about the case of Elena, I started contacting like multiple people, and I actually had a really close friend who was a social worker who took me from the home that I was in. And I talked to her a little bit about, like why, how could this happen? And I was distraught, just as everyone else was. And So I collaborated with her, and she was like, there's so many things wrong within the system and with these like social workers. So she kind of helped me like piece together this petition that I wanted to start for the Elena law in order to get the Elena law passed, and it being sponsored. Um, for it to be sponsored, I think that he told me around like 10,000 signatures. And if we like surpassed that a long time ago, I mean, we have almost 40,000 signatures signed for the Elena law. But the problem is that we have no recognition as far as like the at the Capitol or with any legislatures. I mean, I've contacted everyone that I know, and I've sent out emails to people who have actually signed the petition to let them know that they need to like, you know, put the hammer on them and let them know that they need to pass the Elena law, and they haven't even introduced it. I've seen them like take bits and pieces from what I have in the law, um, and introduce it like that, but it's been separately, and I don't know like how all that works though. But basically, um, the for whatever happened to Elena, that would be considered as a Class C felony, and so the petition was for enforcing harsher punishments as far as like raising that Class C to a Class A felony, because like in the state of Tennessee with the Haley, that's a Class A felony. And there's like multiple things within like the fine payments, how long that they're in there. I mean, it lists all kinds of stuff in this petition. So, and the law is actually, I think it's like a 3-page paper that I printed off, and it lists a lot of great things that are within the justice system that needs to be fixed.
So, what could we do to get the attention of the legislators?
I'm not really sure like about contacting them, and this time around they're only in for, I think, until April. They're usually in longer than that, but I don't see them introducing anything more than like, I don't know if you guys follow the bills that they introduce and that they pass. But like I was so excited. I've been like tracking it almost every single day. And I think everything that they've introduced has had something to do with money or spending money or something along the lines of that. But I haven't seen anything as far as like in that genre of like the DCBS system at all.
That is so heartbreaking. I talked to you at the
Hi, Susie. Sorry.
Make a Wish for Elena, and I mean,
sorry, my husband had to come get my daughter.
Oh, you're fine. Me and my husband were foster parents, so it really breaks my heart that they haven't introduced anything that would help.
I know, and that's what shocked me too. And I also, what really got me was that like there's all of these things, and even when I spoke with Adam Bowling, we emailed back and forth. There for like the first couple of months, he stayed in contact with me, and it was pretty, consistent. And the social worker that I was friends with, her name is Leah Jones. And I'm sure you could probably find her on Facebook too. She's really helpful. And she actually left the cabinet because of all the bullcrap that goes on in the system. And so now she works within the school system instead of like in the cabinet. But she still has like access. I think she was like in the cabinet for around 30 years. And what really shocked me was that Adam set up a meeting with Leah. He put her in front of this. I'm not entirely sure what her name was, but she was over the administration for the social work. And he put her in front of her, and she pretty much told her that we were collaborating on the Elena law, they had it introduced. Like, she had the paper out, Adam had the paper out of the drafting of the Elena law. And so it was on the table. So I'm not understanding why it hasn't been talked about, like, publicly at all.
I mean, I think it needs to get their attention. Who would be the first person? You've done your homework on this that you would email, because I don't think it would hurt for, say, everybody that will to email and say they want the Elena law pushed forward. What do you think, Dutch? I think you're muted.
No, I'm here.
Oh, I mean, because when you've got enough signatures, they should at least. I know she's worked hard on this. They need to at least put it before the legislators to get things done. It shouldn't all be about money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the key is just finding people who can know somebody on the House or Senate side so you can get it in front of the governor. Because that's what I had to do in Tyler Dole's case.
Okay, so email Andy Bridger.
It's the best you can do. You know? Sometimes it's about who you know.
Allie, will you or Michelle Sipians can find that email? That way we can start emailing, because people, I don't want y'all to think that it's social workers. It's not. I've worked with them one-on-one. Their hands are tied in a lot of cases. They've got more kids than they can actually. You've got several to one social worker. Their turnaround is pretty enormous, to be honest with you. Was one of them able to find that email? What do you think, Haley? Do you think that would help? I don't know if she's lost signal or if she's muted. It may be me.
No, Haley, I can't hear you. She's muted. She'll have to unmute herself.
Oh.
Yeah, I see her microphone's muted. She might have had to do something.
Yeah, she's calming down her baby. Okay. She has emailed Andy.
Let me see if I can find it.
But I mean, if enough of us email him, he can't ignore it forever. Andy Bashir's Michelle.
I got it. I'll drop it in chat. Go to this website. You can fill out all your information. That is the contact page for Governor Andy Bashir.
I mean, I think we need to flood his email. It's important. This law needs passed, because until the laws are changed, we're going to keep having to cover cases like this. Offenders can't be smacked on the hand.
Right. We may need to do a call on the speaker. That won't be the first time I've had to call the governor of a state about a case. I've had to make several calls. Because when I'm a tax-paying citizen in my own state in South Carolina, Well, I'll call whoever it takes. Now, he might not care because I don't live in Kentucky, but I'll still call because it matters. So, y'all, that link in chat, if you try to see, if you click on send an email, it's going to take you back to the contact page. So he doesn't have an email. So that's how we have to get in touch with him. So I will definitely send an email probably later tonight after this stream.
And people, I would also encourage you to look at the laws in your state. See what they are against child abuse. Because, I mean, to me, this is way too lax. If you all don't care, put some hearts in chat for Haley. She's been on it. She's busted her hind end with this. And like I said, she's done her homework. And I'm grateful for people that's willing to go to the front lines and do things to get it done. You know, not just talk about doing it, but make steps to get actions.
Exactly, because that's what it takes.
You're right. You're right. There does need to be accountability and laws that work to help stop this. And I mean, that's where it starts. Michelle says in Tennessee, it depends on who you are. Well, Ronnie Lawson proves that.
That's how it is here in South Carolina. Anybody that's watched my channel and the Tyler Doyle case, they know.
Kim, I assume you are right, too.
Well, it seems like she'd be quick to want him to get on board with this.
You would think. I mean, this should be something that she's passionate about.
Yeah.
Pam
So we need to find out how to reach out to her, is what it sounds like.
Pam has also dropped another link in chat. Let's do what we can to get Elena's law passed. Something like this shouldn't
and please
happen.
go over and sign this petition. Please go over and sign this petition. There's 22,025 signatures, so that we've gotten a couple signatures since we've been on this live. But we need to get more people to sign this very important petition. Do you want me to read the petition?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hang on one second. Let me get myself some Dr. Pepper. Got to clear my throat.
I agree, Michelle.
Adam Bolin is the 87th District State Representative. Thank you, Pam.
And I was going to ask. Haley, that's who had been in contact with Haley. In New York is 15 years, 7 mandatory minimum. Death is 25 to life. Well, I know of a case where a woman gave her kid shaken baby syndrome. She did 4 years. That's it. Then got out and got her other kids.
Yikes.
The laws need to change.
Definitely. Okay, so this petition is written by Haley Lawless. It says, we cannot let baby Elena's name slip through the cracks, Kentucky. According to psychologists that primarily treat sex offenders, it's almost impossible for sex offenders to be considered rehabilitated and have higher rates of recidivism, reoffending within 2 years. I am writing this petition with a heavy heart and a deep sense of urgency to bring justice to the innocent children who have suffered at the hands of child abusers and child molesters in the state of Kentucky. This petition aims to enforce harsher punishments for these heinous crimes by advocating for the implementation of Elena's law. As a parent myself, I cannot fathom the pain and fear that baby Elena Hembree, at only 17 months old, had to endure. It breaks my heart knowing that such cruelty exists in our society. Elena's tragic story has touched me deeply, as I have a baby girl who is just a few months younger than she was when her life was tragically cut short. Excuse me. Elena's law seeks to ensure that those responsible for such despicable acts face severe consequences that match the severity of their crimes. By enforcing harsher punishments, we can send a strong message that child abuse will not be tolerated in our communities. According to reliable sources such as nationalchildabusestatistics.com and childhelp.org, it is estimated that over 700,000 children are abused each year in the United States alone. Shockingly, only about 30% of cases are reported or detected. These statistics highlight an alarming reality. Many victims suffer silently without receiving justice or protection from further harm. By implementing Elena law in Kentucky, we can take significant steps toward protecting our children from unimaginable pain and ensuring their safety within our communities. This law would serve as a deterrent against potential offenders while providing stronger legal measures against those found guilty. We call upon Governor Andy Beshear and all members of the Kentucky State Legislature to prioritize this issue by introducing legislation enforcing harsher punishments for child abusers and child molesters statewide. We urge them to consider implementing Elena's law as essential measure to protect our children and prevent future tragedies. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of countless innocent children who deserve a safe and nurturing environment. Let us stand united against child abuse and child molestation by enforcing harsher punishments through Elena's law. Sign this petition today to demand justice for Elena and all the victims who have suffered at the hands of these abhorrent crimes. We cannot afford to remain silent any longer. Join me in advocating for change so that no other child has to endure what Elena did. And together, let's ensure that justice is served and our children are protected from such unimaginable horrors. Hashtag justice for Elena. Hashtag protect our children. Hashtag no justice, no peace.
If you haven't signed this petition, I beg you to please go do so. As you can see, Elena's law needs to be passed. That, to me, that's one of the biggest things that could get done to do justice, other than the offenders being prosecuted, is make her life mean something past what happened.
Yes. And thank you, Haley.
Yeah, Haley, I appreciate everything that you've done. Also, y'all, something that a lot of you may not understand this, but one thing that you can look for in a newborn, and I learned this just recently at a ongoing course, is a child that doesn't cry. Could be a potential sign of abuse. The reason being is because it takes 3 days for a kid, a baby, to realize you're not coming. That's just one of the many warning signs. Bruising behind the ears, kids shouldn't be bruised behind the ears, y'all. So, just a little something to look out for. But and if you see something, report it. Call the law right then and there. If you see a kid being abused, call the law right then and there. They'll call Child Protective Services. But I'd like to end this with prayer. This is Easter, and my faith is everything to me. It's the day that Christ rose. I believe that He is in control of everything, and He can take care of everything. All of this is in His hands. I think that He can do more than any of us can.
I agree.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you, Lord, because you have risen. We thank you for grace, Lord, and we thank you for mercy. Dear Lord, for every child that's been abused or is being abused, we ask you to wrap your arms around them, protect them, Lord, and remove them from that situation. Let the people that are responsible, Lord, let them be punished rightfully. Dear Lord, we thank you for this community, and thank you for everybody that is putting Elena's name out there.
Yes.
Dear Lord, for all the missing children, we know they're not missing to you. You know exactly where they are. We ask you to protect them. In Jesus' loving name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I want to thank everybody for being here. Just share her name out. Even if it's just to post her picture, share her name. Because we won't forget and we won't be silent. Silence is not an option. But Haley, I want to thank you for coming up here and explaining the petition to people, because you have done an awesome job with it. And for the ones that will, let's get the email and let's get this law passed. I think that's one of the best things that we could do.
Absolutely. And we
Dutch,
appreciate
Dutch, thank you for everything you've done today. I couldn't have done this live without you.
Oh, honey, you're welcome anytime. That's what friends are for. That's what we do.
And to my awesome mods, thank you all too.
Yes, we appreciate all of you for being here. So I have a little outro that I made also, because, I mean, what good is a new intro if you don't have a new outro, right? So
Yeah.
I did put together a little outro for Crystal that's going to take us out of here. It's short. It's only about a minute and something. So, and just remember to like the stream and to share this out. And if you want to come over and join the Facebook groups, that those links are in the description box if you didn't catch those in the live stream chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can grab those links from the chat, or again, they are in the description box, as well as the link to the petition should you choose to sign it. You know, I encourage people to please just share the petition out, if you would, because we need as many people to sign this as possible to protect future situations and kids that could be involved. Because I don't want it to know that other kids have to go through what Elena has been through. So, thank you for being here. Thank you, Crystal, for all that you do, and thank you, Haley, for also being here. So I'm going to play an outro and take you guys out of here. And I hope that you all have a blessed Easter night and that you have a wonderful week. And we'll probably see you live again, Crystal and I, with Arctic Fox probably, and some other people this week, because we have some other cases and things we're going to talk about. So anything else you want to close out with, Crystal?
No, I think we've covered it.
Okay. All right. Take care, guys. And remember, it don't cost a thing to be kind. It's free, y'all.
It takes zero effort to be a good human being.
That's right. Bye, y'all.